Say you have tens of thousands of choices in your choice list, and you can't put all that many choices in your choice list in your XLSForm to upload to KoBoToolbox or ODK for data collection. And then the second problem you might be facing is you have a list of choices maybe that keeps changing all the time. And every time your list of choices changes, you've got to go back to your XLSForm, change the choice list, and re-upload your XLSForm. And you'd really love a different way of doing that. Well, the solution that we're going to be talking about today is something called Select One from File, where we actually don't put the choice list inside of the Choices tab of your XLSForm. We don't put it inside your data collection form. We put it in a separate CSV file. So your choice list actually is stored separately, which means you can have tens of thousands of choices and your form still works very quickly, just like that. And you can also just update that external file or that external CSV file, that choice list, without having to re-upload and redeploy your XLSForm. So how does it work? So the first CSV file and XLSForm I'm going to show you is this, okay? We're just going to select a country and select a town, okay? That's from within that country. So what we're going to do, and the way we're going to do that is, first of all, we're going to select a country, and the country choices are here in my choice list. And this is as normal. This is what you would expect. We're going to choose from Ethiopia or Iraq. Then we're going to have a second question that says select one from file. Okay, that's all connected with underscores. Then you leave a space and enter townlabels.csv, and that is the name of a file that is external. Okay, so this is a CSV file, and you can see there are 26,832 choices if we remove that top row that has column headers. Okay, so over 26,830 choices, and the very first row just has column headers like this: name, and that would be the same as you'd be used to in your choice list, name, label, and then we've put one more column that's our country filter or our country name. Okay, and that's where we're going to have either Ethiopia or Iraq there. Okay, so we have a name, we have a label, and we have a choice filter or a country filter. So hopping back into here, we have select one from file and the name of that CSV file with .csv at the end of it. Then for appearance, I've just put autocomplete, so it will just kind of pop up. We can start typing the name of the town and it will kind of filter that for us. And then here we've put a choice filter, so where that country filter column equals whatever country we entered here, okay? So these are kind of the elements that we have going on in that XLSForm, in that data collection form. Now, when you upload this to KoBoToolbox, you're going to deploy the form as normal, but you're gonna go to your settings and media, and you're going to put that townlabels.csv file as an external file in your settings, okay? In your media place, okay? Now, in the form, you would then just redeploy that after you put in your media file or put in your CSV file, and then you would click open, okay? And that's going to open a new screen and we can actually fill this data in. So for example, if you chose Ethiopia and you came down here to town, you can see a list pop up here, but if I start entering some letters here, you can see it will filter it, and I can choose the town that I wanted to choose and submit that. So that's exactly how it works. That isn't pulling data from the main XLSForm, that's pulling it from that external CSV. Great, successfully submitted. Now let's take a look at a second example. This one is a little bit different, although much is the same. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we're going to select the country again. But this time, imagine you have a program where you enroll centers into your program. That could be clinics, that could be, it could be any kind of center, or water points, or sanitation points. It doesn't matter what kind of center or point that you're enrolling. But say you have a list of centers and you're enrolling them in the program. So let's take a look at a CSV file that you might prepare for your program. So you'd have something like a center ID, so maybe some sort of ID key that you always use for that center. Then you could have a name of that center, okay? You could have a country name, so what country is that center? So apparently, or you could be working across multiple regions, areas, or countries. And then you could have a status, so that what status is that center within your program? Is it full member, partial member, not a member yet? It's being assessed. So this is just an example, and you can use your own program to imagine how you might use this this within your context. So we have this CSV file, okay? I just want you to note that in the titles, I have no spaces, I have no capitals, I have no numbers. I've kept this as simple as possible. My recommendation with external files is do that same thing, okay? Don't put fancy characters, don't put numbers and spaces and capitals. Just try to keep it as simplistic as you can. I'm not saying anything will go wrong, but you never know. So if we go back into the XLSForm for my centers, we're going to select one from file centers.csv. So we've already looked at that in the previous example. And what I'm going to put here, and there's just a column here called parameters. And you'll note that in my CSV file, I don't have name and label. I have center_ID and center_name. And that's okay. Okay, so in my parameters file, I'm just going to say the value or the name, okay, value equals center ID. So I'm just saying that is what would typically be the name, and the label is center name, okay? With just a comma in between. So label equals center name. So you can set your parameter column to tell the XLSForm, to tell KoBoToolbox or ODK, whatever you're collecting data in, that those columns are what you're referencing as the name and label, okay? And then you can have a choice filter the same as what we just went over in the previous example, okay? Where country equals this country. Then I'm essentially going to do something called a vlookup. You might be used to this in Excel, like if I know this value, look up what it might be in this column. Or if you've ever used the pulldata function in XLSForm, this is almost the same thing, except it's how you use this with the select one from file CSV. So what you do is we want to pull in the status. So once we say the name of the center, we want the form to tell us what status is this center. So what you write is instance, okay? You always write instance first, then an open bracket, and then in double quotes, you want to put the name of the CSV file. So for us, that would be centers. Don't include .csv. Then you close that bracket and you put a /root/item, okay? And then we're going to say where center ID, so that's the column name within our XLSForm, so where the center ID equals whatever was selected in the center question, okay? So that's in the previous question. Then / give us the status, and status comes from, again, just this column header here. So give us whatever is in the status column. Okay. Now you can download this example. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can go and you can play with this and use this and figure it all out on your own as well. Watch this video a couple of times and don't worry, you'll get it. Then what we do is just throw up a note and say the status is whatever it is, okay? Now, taking a look at how this works in KoBoToolbox, we've thrown it up in Enketo, and let's say we choose our country, Iraq. It then gives us the list of centers that are in Iraq. We choose, say, Junior A Center, and it then tells us that the status is partial, okay? Or if we were at this one, partial, or if we were at this one, full, and if we were at this one, not, okay? So it gives us that status. Hopefully that's really helpful. Hopefully that's something a little bit new for you. And I hope it really helps as you think about how do you manage either lots and lots of choices in your choice list, or how do you manage choice lists that keep changing and need to be updated, and you want to kind of use a vlookup in your XLSForm. If you are a humanitarian worker, development worker, or social impact worker, I'd love it if you give this a like, subscribe to the channel, and stick around. We do data collection and data visualization, training and tutorials all the time, and would love to be with you on your journey as you seek to improve the way that you run your programs through data and learning and failure and improvement all the time. I hope to see you next time. If you wouldn't mind, leave a comment down below and tell me how are you using select one from file in your program. I love to know what problems people are having, what problems people are solving using data collection. Until next time, bye.